we're off.
So I'm kind of expecting a guard pull from Jessica here. 10th Planet, renowned for having, and there it is, renowned for having a great, weird, they kind of pride themselves in their weird,
Weirdness.
unique, yeah, try and out-weird their opponents. I mean, I think trying to throw them off maybe with the, I mean, you describe that as like a cow print shorts, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe leopard cow.
Leopard cow. I feel like there needs to be a bit of yellow in there for it to be considered leopard. Yeah. Some heavy clinch work from Jessica, and there's the guard pull from Tiia.
Oh, something's happened. Injury, nose.
I think she might have knocked her nose. There doesn't seem to be any blood, but I mean,
she looks in pain.
Yeah, she certainly looks like this. I mean, it would be a real shame if this match would be called.
Here comes the blood. Yeah.
Okay, let's. I mean, we were sort of lamenting our possible lost, exciting match here, and I just feel like if that nose is damaged, you know, it's very difficult to protect your face in, especially in a competitive grappling match. But hey, we're going to find out, aren't we? Guard pull from Tiia. No nose break on that guard pull, which is great. Looking to come round to the back here. Oh, beautifully done. Back take from here.
He's up.
And Jessica going for a knee bar. Not really tying the legs up too much, and now she's into a nice leg entanglement here, and Tiia aggressively trying to pull that leg out. Puts it on the outside here, really sets herself up for an outside heel hook, and that looks, I mean, it's a great position to go for it. Tiia aggressively fighting the hands and trying to stop Jessica from connecting the hands and being able to put torque on this. And I thought it was such an interesting point that you made earlier in one of the dart matches about the smaller feet of females making it harder to heel hook. And I'm sure there's a little bit more flexibility and laxity in some of the connective tissue for women as well.
She's really hunting that.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a great position here. And there's a nice bite on that heel, and I mean, really putting the hips into here. Tiia Barkham not looking too phased. I mean, it's always quite telling when there is an aggressive fighting of the gripping position here. I mean, she needs to be trying to release her leg from this entanglement, because right now, Jessica Harman's just going to be cranking on that heel as much as she can. But so far, using those hands, grabbing onto that wrist and trying to split the grip. But she's got to start changing the angle in the hips and freeing that leg.
What we got to remember as well, the 10th Planet guys, you know, they are no-gi based.
Yeah, and they were known for their leg locks sort of a lot earlier than when the rest of grappling sort of caught up with them, yeah.
Yeah.
So still, positions changed here. Jessica's still very much going for this heel hook. Tia's able to use her other leg to try and defend against it, but there's many options. There's twisting footlocks from here. There's straight knee bars from here. And, you know, we need to talk about the judges' scorecards as well. This is going to be huge for Jessica on the scorecards here. Lots of submission attempts, very deep submission attempts, and they were requiring a lot of defense. So very obvious defense, fighting that grip, and that's going to be pretty significant. So
Tiia on the top now, though, working this pass.
Yeah, I think this is a nice position for Tiia. If Tiia can take some strong upper body control and then sprawl that left leg backwards. There we go. There's the upper body control. Really start to drive backwards with that other leg. And essentially you drive backwards, but the opponent will follow you. So if you can take an underhook and get pressure on the upper body, it stops them from following you, and it can break this position down a little bit. So a much, much stronger position here. Tia's not out of the woods yet. She's in a good position if she can capitalize and continue to advance this. Otherwise, she might find herself back inside of a entanglement and on the receiving end of some heel hooks, potentially looking to tie up maybe a Nogi Ezekiel, just throwing up some submission attempts here. Maybe maybe to try and score on the judges' cards. Maybe to try and force her opponent to open these legs. And now she's pummeling that left hand on the inside of her opponent's legs to try and force them to unlock. If those legs, you see those two legs locked there of Jessica Harman, if she unlocks those legs, she's going to find herself in actually a really bad position under side control.
I mean, Jessica has that hand underneath there.
Yeah.
But Tiia seems to be doing like a good job of bringing her head. Her head placement there is just stopping the Jessica's head from coming in and getting underneath.
That head placement is fine, and a really interesting thing here. You see how, and she's just managed to get those hands connected. Can you see those? You can barely see that second hand, that left hand of Jessica, but she was really trying to connect those hands, and Tiia was directly trying to stop her from doing so. And if she manages to connect the hand, then she's going to have a lot more control on that leg. So halfway through the match now. I mean, very much in terms of the submission attempts, very much one-sided, but you know, Tia's in a great position to start throwing some submission attempts of her own if she can free this leg. And I think really what she wants to try and do, the best thing she could do from here, is try and open up some space on this side. This might be a way of doing it. I wouldn't go for a guillotine from here, personally. Even I love guillotines, but I wouldn't go from here, not from here. I mean, maybe, who knows. But I'd be looking to pummel my left hand on the inside of that arm and... Okay, so she's taken away that arm. She's lost that underhook on the leg now. I think really focus on driving backwards and kicking those legs out. I mean, she must be exhausted holding on to this position here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there we go.
Jessica's out.
Yeah, well, she's not only is she out, she's out and she's back into a position where she can start attacking the legs again. So, I mean, I don't know how I'd score that guillotine attempt. I don't know how viable that was as an option, a realistic option for a finish.
I would say Jessica's definitely up now.
Yeah. You got to say so. I mean, still plenty of time on the clock. 4 minutes left to work.
But Tiia now looking to no, maybe not. She's coming up to the top again, and we looks like we're going to end up in that same position.
Yes. But I think the fatigue maybe in the legs of Jessica Harman. She is holding onto that left leg of Tiia so aggressively, interlocking the fingers there, and then realizing that's not how we interlock fingers in jiu-jitsu. We don't do that. We say palm to palm. But yeah, heavy shoulder pressure here. Drive that leg backwards, and I think what Tiia actually wants to be doing is maybe shuffling her hips slightly towards that knee, put a little bit more pressure further down that lever. But she's trying to do it. I mean, maybe use the far side leg to assist in the unlocking of her opponent's legs.
Yeah,
I mean, the foot's very close. You see what I mean? She could use that right leg to try and unlock her opponent's legs, because right now, look at that pressure she's got down on that side there. That is to stop her opponent from getting underneath her again and picking up that heel. But she might find herself being reversed, and she is going to find herself being reversed. 3 minutes left in this match, and you know, Jessica Harman certainly up, and we didn't even think we were going to see this match after that initial nose damage, and a beautiful,
wow,
I mean, just an effortless hip bump sweep directly into mount.
All right, so now we've got Tiia on top. This match has just flipped.
Yeah, it has, but you know, 2.5 minutes left to go. She's going to need a really, really deep. I mean, as I said, she goes for a triangle there, but she accidentally
got the arm in.
Yeah, she accidentally took both arms out of the equation. So
yeah.
I mean, I think that was either a slight blunder from Tiia or possibly from Jessica. Beautiful timing in removing both arms from that position so she couldn't get triangled. I think 2 minutes left, and I still got to say, very much in Jessica Harman's favor for those very deep early heel hook attempts, and she's done almost an Imanari roll, and she's back on a leg from here, and Tiia really has to stop her from getting this position because she's had so much success with it, and Tiia struggled so much to get out of this position so far.
But she's looking to pass this leg here. It looks like Jessica's possibly got an arm, or go to attack an arm.
Yeah, if she rolls through on this arm. Minute and a half left.
She's got the... oh, no, I thought she had the figure four grip.
Yeah, looked like she had a Kimura there for a second, but pretty weak position. I mean, okay, this is interesting. 1:20 to go here. Tiia Barkham certainly down on the scorecards. Positionally has been looking good, but it was those submission attempts. Yeah. This is the difference. I mean, if this was being scored positionally and transitionally, you know, you've got to give it to Tiia right now, especially right now in this mount position. Second time she's taken mount. However, I can almost guarantee that right now it's going to be in favor of Jessica unless Tiia can get a super deep, you know, a very, very close submission attempt in this last minute of the match. She's going for a head and arm, but it doesn't look strong. It looks like there's too much going on in terms of the defensive work in the arms of Jessica Harman.
And Jessica's she's still got both hands in there.
Exactly,
I think. Yeah.
But Tia's selling it. She's selling it. She's going for it. This isn't the position that you want. You don't want that arm on the inside there and a switch to an armbar. This could be huge. This could be a match-winning maneuver if she can get this armbar.
Oh,
And it that's so close. So close there. The two opportunities that she's had from now to really kind of turn that scorecard in her favour. I think Jessica's just done a great job of defending it.
Absolutely.
A little bit of weird jiu-jitsu from underneath Mountain there, you know. So yeah, very, very interesting match. And again, you've got to consider the Grapple Fest rule set that we're using. Positional dominance from Tiia Barkham, but submission dominance early on with those heel hook attempts from Jessica Harman. I mean, could it have been swayed with that head and arm? Personally, I don't think it was deep enough, but we'll leave it to the judges. We're going to find out in a little bit. First off, let's have a look at some of the replays from that match, and I think we're going to start with these early heel hook attempts, and these were what we call deep submission attempts here. There was multiple of them. You know, it was forcing Tiia to grip fight and try and strip those grips. We saw a lot of positional dominance in that last half, especially. Guard pass to side control. We saw 2 mount takes, one from that pass into mount, one from a sweep, armbar there, but really no sniff of a deep submission. So, you know, let's send it down to find out the official results.
And the judge's decision is for your winner, Jessica Harman!
Yeah, and kind of exactly what we expected there.
Yeah, as expected. Again, great fight.
Yeah, really great match.
Yeah,
I mean,
both really
we're going to get it.
I know! We're so lucky.
Fantastic.